Yo, welcome to On Point Sports, the definitive sports source here on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. We'll keep you up to date on all the breaking stories in all sports throughout the world. We'll give you fantasy advice and much, much more. Thanks again for joining us for the video. Stay tuned as we're going to look at one of the top topics in the NFL in 2016, the LA Rams. No longer in St. Louis, the Rams are moving back to where it all began in Los Angeles. I'm RJ, joining up with K-Mac.
Yo, what's up, man?
This is going to be a powerful division. You still have the Seahawks, probably one of the best teams in the NFL. And, of course, the Cardinals with Carson Palmer should have a tough run this year. The Rams might be one of those underrated teams, though. I'm sure they'll get plenty of buzz as the season gets closer. Now, this is a historic franchise, K-Mac. They were in LA from 1946 to 1994. They even had the first modern helmet emblem in pro football. So it's not one of those moves to a random city. This is actually a very historic move. The city of LA should be very hyped. They did move around Southern California a few times back in that time period, and then they eventually moved to St. Louis in 1995. This is the sad part for me, In St. Louis, they made a huge name for themselves, especially between 1999 to 2004.
Greatest show on turf.
The greatest show on turf. Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, a bunch of guys, Kyle, as you know. It's like all that might be forgotten for a while.
Put them on the map for St. Louis, that's for sure. St. Louis has always been known as a baseball town, and now it's all of a sudden this Rams football team's winning. They're pretty damn good.
Dominant.
But, I feel bad for St. Louis fans, but at the same time, look, they kind of took the team from L.A. It's going back home. You got to like to see a team return back to where it started. And, they don't have to change much with the jersey because they don't have a St. Louis emblem anywhere on the jersey. I think it says St. Louis in the middle, a little spot. So you change that to Los Angeles and
throw that on there. Everything stays the same.
Yeah.
But once again, definitely have to pour out a little bit of liquor for the St. Louis Rams because they won't have that name ever again.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Marshall Faulk is one of the best running backs in NFL history.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit underrated. That guy could do everything. So we'll always remember them. Not only did they have a huge Super Bowl victory against the Tennessee Titans, but K-Mac, they got the dynasty rolling. The New England Patriots' first Super Bowl victory was against the greatest show on turf.
Kick.
They shut down the greatest show on turf.
Yep.
So now it's off to LA. As we said, they're heading to Inglewood. This new stadium that's being built is titanic. It's going to have 80,000 seats plus a 6,000 seat performance venue.
Wow.
It's going to be called the Los Angeles Entertainment Center. Like I said, in Inglewood, but that does not roll out until 2019.
Wow.
So until then, they're going to be sharing the Memorial Coliseum with the Trojans. I still think that's going to be fine enough considering the beautiful atmosphere in SoCal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great place. Obviously, they have the Rose Bowl there every single year. It's a nice stadium. Well, I think it might be a little small for an NFL stadium, it seems like. But definitely, it's a place they're going to be able to pack, and it's going to be a good time for people in LA. My only question is, how big of a following do you think they're going to have at first?
Considering they do have some history, like we mentioned already,
I
feel like they will have some old-timers back in it, especially the ones that we're kind of sorry to see them leave. They'll be like, hell yeah, they're back.
Yeah.
They even have a Super Bowl to boot. But once they get that stadium, Kyle, that's going to be insane. 80,000 seats, that's going to be almost
huge.
a college environment there, as long as they can have the fans show up. Should be a great time, and I think that's when really they'll start rolling. But once again, it helps that they do have some good players. We'll talk about that people can get behind. Possibly the best running back in the NFL and the rookie quarterback. But also, K-Mac, another thing that a lot of people are going to like about the Rams, they're going to be featured on Hard Knocks this year.
Yeah.
HBO's really, really popular show. Everybody loves that one. And they have plenty of players to show off, possibly even kind of tied up with the same stadium there as the Trojans. Maybe that gets thrown into Hard Knocks. I think it could be pretty fun, really watching a team starting off fresh in a huge city like that,
Yeah, it's going to be crazy to watch that and then see the transition. How many fans know that they might have been Rams fans back in the day, but then they became Raiders fans once they went to St. Louis. Are those people not going to jump ship from the Raiders? Which probably won't be hard the way the Raiders have been playing lately.
Yeah.
There might be a lot of those Raiders fans that are converting back over to being, LA Rams fans.
Especially the Raiders fans that are seeing the future of the Raiders going to Vegas. They're like, hey, let's just switch it over. We got the Rams back, whatever. Because a lot of the Raiders fans, of course, are from LA as well, with them formerly the Los Angeles Raiders.
Right.
Once again, we're happy that the LA Rams are back. I think this is actually a good fit. Very sad to see St. Louis lose a team, but this is a pretty cool fit, especially when the new stadium rolls out. The 2016 season, as we said, will be played at LA Memorial Coliseum. They're actually going to have the first game of the season in San Francisco, and then they'll have the home opener. We'll see how they do. It shows Case Keenum as the starting quarterback, but I think we all know it's going to be Jared Goff's show from day one.
We'll see.
Any initial reactions to Jared Goff so far?
He's gonna have to show that he can get it done in preseason. Obviously, Case Keenum is going to be familiar with the system. That's something Jared Goff's going to have to learn, which I don't think he's going to have a problem with. He's been known as being a pretty damn smart quarterback. So we'll see. But, yeah, they drafted him to be their starting quarterback. But like we've seen in the past, we saw last year, Winston and Mariota came right in, started right away, day one, starters. So
it's pretty much how it is nowadays.
You have to. It's why you're drafting these guys so high.
One of the things that they're looking at with this young quarterback, Jared Goff, he is from Cal, so he's kind of a hometown guy. They also really have to look at Aaron Rodgers, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Jared Goff is coming from the same college environment. We'll see if he can be that good. It's certainly not going to be easy. He does have some weapons around him. Tavon Austin, say what you will about him, he's still a pretty potent weapon for a young quarterback. Absolutely.
Runner receiver.
And then Kenny Britt, he did make some plays as well. A couple players I would say aren't the best, but do have enough talent to help him out.
Watch out for their rookie, Farrell Cooper, that they got from South Carolina. That guy's got a lot of speed. You're going to see him almost like Tavon Austin, get some handoffs. He's going to run the ball. A guy can throw the ball as well. Another guy that's kind of a sleeper on that team, and I might be a little biased because I'm obviously an Auburn fan, Duke Williams is on the roster. He doesn't get in trouble. That guy's got a lot of skill. He's a big-time possession receiver, a lot like Kenny Britt a little bit. Not as big, though. Could easily be that fourth starter for this team.
How about Brian Quick completely falling off? Not sure what happened there. Maybe he can make a comeback and help out.
We'll see. He's got to get his speed back. That's what his main thing was, man. You get past the secondary, and he just really hasn't had a good quarterback to a lot of these receivers. Even Tavon Austin haven't had a great quarterback to help him out too much.
Pretty solid offensive line. I feel like they did fall off a little bit from last year. Hopefully these new players come in and do a good job for Todd Gurley, because he is the guy who's going to be driving the train. If he does well, if he breaks out huge runs like he did last year, that's going to be great for the team. You're going to see them succeed. You have to be worried about the infamous sophomore jinx.
Yeah, sophomore slump happens to the best of them. So that's the one thing I'm worried about with this team and this offense. You're going to have a rookie quarterback start, and you're going to have a running back who is really good, is going to be one of the best running backs, I think, in the league in the next couple of years. But like you said, there's a sophomore slump. It happens to the best of them. Hopefully it doesn't happen for the Rams, because they're gonna have to really rely on that running game to step up for the rookie quarterback.
Absolutely. Looking at the defense, they have a ton of good players. Alec Ogletree is back. Mark Barron played pretty good last year after they moved him to outside linebackers, so he'll be back along with Akeem Ayers, Tremaine Johnson. A lot of these pretty decent players. T.J. McDonald, we're obviously worried about some of the situations with him, but a lot of great players. And we haven't even mentioned the best of the best, Aaron Donald. Probably the best defensive tackle, possibly defensive lineman in the league next to J.J. Watt.
Definitely one of the fastest right now, and these interior offensive linemen don't know how to stop him because he's so fast. They haven't seen that speed. Not the biggest of guys, but he's got that speed, runs right around guys, and just wreaked havoc on quarterbacks last year.
Yeah, kind of crazy how coming into the league, a lot of people talked about how he's undersized, and that didn't stop him at all. Plenty of good players to have a defense that can keep them in the game, and when you mix that up with a great running back, certainly wins are going to come, even with a rookie quarterback. Now we have to look at the special teams. Greg Zerloin kind of fell off last year. I hope he rebounds, because they cannot have missed kicks.
I feel like that guy's been in the league forever for some reason.
Greg the leg can kick some long ones, but his accuracy definitely fell off. And Tavon Austin, hopefully he can get some touchdowns on special teams. Another thing that's really going to help them out. They can score without Jared Goff even getting on the field.
And how special it would be if somehow Stedman Bailey can make it back onto the team this year. It was a crazy situation last year. Got shot in the head. Survived. He's still on the team. I don't think he's going to be able to come out this year. But if he does, it's obviously going to help out the Rams. It's going to help them, their mojo, and just everyone feeling good about that.
Thanks again for joining us, guys. Let us know what you think about the 2016 Los Angeles Rams. We'll be watching them and keeping you guys up to date.
LA.
Subscribe here to On Point Sports. We got you guys covered in all things sports and beyond. I'm RJ for KMAC. Thanks for joining. As always, stay on point.